Alrighty everyone, so as we just performed on the weekend, we're just going to run through the session. Cervical mobility, shoulder mobility, hip mobility, a bit of knee and ankle mobility, and then some lymphatic work. So starting with our neck, anchoring on our sternum, dropping chin down to the chest, and then looking up to the ceiling, dropping chin down to chest, coming back up to the ceiling, dropping down, coming back up, remembering just to go within the ranges that you find comfortable, but we also want to push the limit a little bit. The aim is to mobilize this a little bit over a long period of time. So we're not trying to achieve the end goal today, we're trying to achieve one step in the direction of our end goal. And then coming back to a neutral spine, turning that left to right. So looking over left, looking over right. Again, you might hear some crunching, you might hear some grinding, you might hit some barriers. That's okay. We're just moving within the limits of what our body would like to give us today. We're not trying to push it, not trying to break it. We're just trying to ease it into this movement so that when we come back tomorrow, we can take it a little further. And each passing day after that. And we're going to move into side bending. This one might be really tight for a lot of people that sit at the desk. That's okay. Again, the more that we practice this, the easier this will become over time. We've had a really busy day at work, or we've had a really busy day on our feet. These parts of our body might get really tired. But if we keep this consistent practice, just a little bit every day, that's where we're going to get our results. Moving into our scapulas, or our shoulder blades, bring your hands out in front of the body, reaching forward like we're trying to reach for something, and then grabbing that and pulling that back. So reaching forward, rounding the shoulder blades out in front, pinching the shoulder blades back. Reaching out in front, pinching that one back. Reaching out in front, pinching that one back. Reaching out in front, bringing that one back. Someone that sits at a desk a lot, they might feel that rolling forward is quite easy, but pinching back might be a difficult one. It's just because our shoulders sit in a position when we're at the desk all day, and we're kind of relaxed and rolling out to the front. Pull that back, bring that forward, pull that back, bring that forward. But again, the more and more we practice this every day, the more and more this should start to become a little easier. So now we're going to mobilize looking at the hand. So looking down at the hand, hand down to the ground. We're going to do some circles with our shoulders, so we're watching our hand as we go around, and this is helping us to articulate the neck or the cervical spine, as well as articulating the shoulder joint. And one more. And when we reach the bottom, let's bring that one back around the other way. I'm just doing 5 on either side. Remember, we don't need to speed through this. We want to articulate the body through this. We'll swap sides. So I'm not trying to make it a race. I'm also not trying to take forever. I'm just trying to bring mobility to the sections of my body, especially the ones that may need a bit more. Because we sit, we stand, or we position ourselves in ways throughout our day that creates these patterns that then become locked into our body. Shoulders, neck, done. We're going to move into hips and lower back. Placing one hand across the abdomen, we're going to be doing some rotation now. So I'm going to rotate this one around the right, and I'm going to turn my body. When I reach my end, I'm going to turn my shoulders around a little bit more, kind of like I'm putting a bit more rotation through the upper part of my body. I'm going to bring this over to the other side. So coming around to the right, coming around to the left, coming around to the right, coming around to the left. Again, it's kind of rinsing or rotating through that whole spine. It's engaging our shoulders as well. We're pinching one shoulder back, pinching one shoulder back, pinching one shoulder back. And the movement across the abdomen, we'll explain more in the coming videos in relation to how this is helping with our lymphatic system. And back to neutral. Now we're going to try and reach down, 2 fingers, widen our stance just a little bit, reaching down towards the ground. Here we're going to be hinging from our hips, so we're going to be trying to bend forward. We're not trying to round and roll down, not yet. We're just trying to hinge forward, create a bit of a lever action with our hips. So hinging down and coming back. It's a bit of a deadlift type of a movement, or a straight leg deadlift kind of a movement. You might feel a bit of straining or pulling through the backs of the legs, maybe even in the back. If you can't go all the way down, just bring it down to the ankles or bring it down to the knees. The aim here is to just get this hinging movement happening through there. From here, we're going to try and squat down, or we're going to try and bend our knees a little bit. So turn the toes out just a little bit with the fingers, just kind of trying to come straight down to the ground, and then bring that one back up. This time we're bending at the knees and we're pushing up. Remembering when we're pushing from the ground, we're not trying to push from our toes, but we're trying to push from our heels and drive ourselves back up. This is getting our hips hinging, our knees hinging. It's even working through the ankles as well. Remember, this is only meant to be a simple way to warm up the body each morning. Doesn't have to be hard. Again, if we can't go all the way down, we can go this far. Come down to the knees, come down to the ankles. We need to, just a light movement down. But the aim is movement through the hips, knees, bit of the ankles. Now we're going to move solely into the ankles. This is going to work to uplift the heel off the ground. What that's doing, that's engaging my calf muscle in the back of the lower part of my leg. It's creating a bit of a pumping mechanism as well. So I mentioned the lymphatics before. This is creating a bit of a pumping mechanism that's helping to pump any of our lymphatic fluid from the lower part of our body back up to the top. And if we're comfortable, we can add a little bit of a hop or a bounce into this. Just trying to hop on the spot for about 20 seconds. If you're comfortable as well, just let the shoulders raise up and drop down with each hop. And that's it. That's going to take us through the whole body really simply each morning. In the upcoming videos, I'll talk about some more techniques we can do to increase our lymphatic movement and just to get things going in the body. But I won't leave you with nothing around that topic. I will talk to you about just some cupping or tapping techniques to try and open up our subclavicular lymphatic drainage, which is where all of our lymphatic vessels drain back into the heart. It sits right behind our collarbones, making a cup-like hold of the hand and just doing some patting. And then following on the other side. We can do that one. We can also do one just around the front of our hips, cupping. So this is mobilizing some big areas of lymph nodes and just helping to mobilize our lymphatic fluid through the body. Thanks. I'll see you next time.